In this video, I'm going to share my reaction about the lessons from the computer electronics. So there is two lessons that I'm going to have my thoughts and reactions, which is the first lesson is the introductory concept, and the second lesson is the fundamental of electricity and magnetism. So we're going to start in the first lesson. So here in the first lesson, we can see in the screen that there is a question. So the question is, what is the difference between electronics and electrical devices? So before, when I didn't read this, before my first impression with this question, one thing that popped up in my mind about electronics is something that is very useful than electrical devices. Or I mean, if we say electronics is something that is more powerful and more it has more useful, or something that more can do rather than electrical devices. So one thing that I can give an example about electronics for me is about computers or something like that. Computers, people as electronics, or electronics, or another derma scanners like that, and also temperature scanners. We call that electronics. For me, for the electrical devices, one thing that popped on my mind, and it reminds me that electrical devices is something that is usually using electricity. I mean, all of the time when you use it. So one of the tools or the examples of an electrical device is something that before, like toasters, or even up to date, like blender. Yes, it is still using a direct electricity to perform its function. Also vacuums, and also today still there is lights is still using a direct electricity. So I had been read this before our second exam. Yes, and I have read this further, but some lines, I just have this familiar in me. So one thing that I'm really confused about this is before, because when I read this further, electronics and electrical devices can be I think that they can be combined together. Usually up to date we use a lot of devices or tools that is using electronic and electrical. So it is more powerful when they combine together, because it's more convenient for us to see things or to use things that have this. So one of this example is like now we stay using a refrigerator, we're using a direct electricity, and at the same time there is a control temperature, or we can switch temperatures from we have choices to select what temperatures we're going to take the device to function. So that's what I understand about electronic and electrical devices. So it was really amazing to see to its deeper understanding about these two words. Okay, so I think I'm going to move to other topic. So that's my reaction about the first topic, which is the electronic and the electrical. So here in the basic electrical safety, it was really nice because this subject is not only intended for just to learn, or to learn how to make innovative or something like that technologically devices, or just something like that. They are also there is also electrical safety to be performed before performing any activity related to computer electronics. So it was nice to read all of this, because something that can make you be knowledgeable and for your safety, because when you're going to apply this and when you follow all these fundamental of electricity hazards, like that. If you know that, you can avoid risk or hazards like that. So yes, here you also learn how electrical hazards affect you when you fail to perform a proper way on performing during the activity. So here there's a lot of impact when you when you exposed to the electricity. Here there is more than 3 milliampere full shock, just like that. So it is more important to be careful when we're doing activity related to computer electronics, because that's not only for our own good but for the others also. Because I think one of its purpose is not only for yourself but to be influenced with the others. Because when you do something right, do right to yourselves while performing the activity, you can be one of the model or the to influence others to follow you, to like doing things in the right way, not just for something like that. So there, fundamentals of electrical hazards. It was hazard electricity, execution, shock, coverage. Okay. It was busy. Okay. Electrical protections sa circuit breakers. So we are all familiar with these circuit breakers. Here in our house we have circuit breakers. I have last week I have installed with my father. We installed circuit breakers for my room, because I have a lot of outlets here for my Wi-Fi. So I had to take a breaker in my room for the electrical protections, because so terminologies, fundamental hazards, electrical hazards. So I had read this before, but I did not memorize all of this, but I familiarized, but not actually all, because basic roles of electrical actions. Yeah, it's very important. Electricity is not lived until current flows. Okay. So it is very important to follow all of these precautions and safety, because this is really good, and it must be applied in all the in all activities and they are related to computer electronics. So just like that. So this is the most important, to be always reminding us, not only in the activity to perform, but in all ways and all moments to protect us from hazards and risks. That is the safety first. The safe way is the best. So yeah, it's good. So I'm going to apologize for those who are watching this video for my English, because actually I don't usually speak English where my pronunciation is not like that perfect. But anyways, you still understand my disgusting. So here in the introduction to basic electronics, as I see this, these are one of the electronics that is usually used during the activities and computer electronics. So it was pretty amazing to see this amazing tools like storage. I didn't know that there is a proper storage, that this is the proper storage for your tools or materials for activity. This breadboard, when you see this picture without reading this his name, I had already know that this breadboard is, because I see this before online also. I had seen this in a group chat of our Facebook group chat. I see this, but I don't know what's the name of this kind, this one. So I am really great to know. I am really grateful because I know that it's the name of this tool. I think we call this tool. Yeah, it is a tool. A breadboard are essential tool for prototyping and building temporary circuits. Yeah, that's what I'd seen in a Facebook group. They were making something Arduino project. Is they were using that, and they are performing a wirings on that breadboard, and it was pretty amazing because it looks like easy to install different activity you want to perform. Yeah. So digital multimeter. So I think this is for electricity purposes to verify the negative, just like that. But for further explanation, it is a multimeter device used for measure electricity current amps, okay, voltage and resistance also. So it's really important for the performing activity. So I have this kind of tool here in our house, and yeah, it was very helpful because it can be prevent from damage to your device. Yeah, because you can identify where what voltage, resistance, or current that is suitable for performing your activity. Yeah, it's really helped to minimize damage to your tools. It's very helpful. Battery holder. So when I see this big, yeah, I think the where your battery were put there, there is an on or off. I think if that's right. So it's a battery holder. It's a plastic case that holds battery from 9 volts to what's AA? Don't know what's AA. But I'm going to research about that soon later. Some holders are enclosed and may have on or off. Yeah, may off. This leads alligators. Yeah, that's one of the tools for soldering. Wire cutter. I have this cutter. I think. Okay. I don't have this wire cutter. This intended for wire. I think because I have only here a cutter for a cable wire. Yeah, it has a lot of purposes, or has a lot of has a lot of sharp edge to cut the cable wire. But in this kind of tool, they have just so this only on picture, but I don't even so it's on a person and hold it. Okay, so precision screwdriver. See, precision. That's where the precision screwdriver sits. I have a screwdrivers here, but not at all it's what's insane, but it was intended for a screw when you're going to insert the screw when you're going to perform an activity. When you're using a screw, we're going to use screwdrivers. And screwdrivers have a minus and a plus in each point. Okay, so going move. Helping third hand. I don't see this in person. Just notice this when I read this module or lesson. So I hope I can see this in person because I think it's pretty amazing. I think this white, this is a transparent glass. One thing that popped up in my mind when I see this is it was for micro just like a big glasses to see deeper the materials for mostly for soldering. I think they were going to use it to see clearly the wires, the small wires, especially small wires, just like that. So going forward to hit gun. Yeah. This one is I don't know what is this before. I just know this. I just see this only here. Because one thing that I know about, just I think that's just just a family of this tool is glue gun. Yeah, it was something that you will put stick glue, stick glue on the glue gun to perform its function, so that its glue will be melted and to paste all the you want to paste. So for this, it was said here that heat gun is used for string plastic tubing. Okay, jumping wire. Yeah, jumping. One thing that I know about jumping wire is that I've already performed a jumping wire, but I did not use this kind of wire. I did not use wire, but instead I use it's like used for soldering. This for soldering. Yeah, it was still wire, not wire. Something that's metal, a small metal, a soft small metal that is used for soldering. I've been using it for flashing modems. Yeah, so I've been jumping it. So when I read the jumping wire, I have something that pop up my mind is using for something to connecting the just like that. I'm going to use them for quick. Yeah, these wires are used for development port and generally to tape AWG solid core wire. So yeah, that's actually the use of that jumping wire. Pretty soldering iron. Soldering iron. I don't know I don't have it. Soldering iron. This kind of a big equipment in our house, but instead I have this one, but I don't have this kind of things. Is one thing that I have on my mind because I have a background knowledge about simple background, not really big, but simple small background about the soldering iron. One thing that is used for soldering iron is for melting small metal. What do you call that? Small metal. I don't really remember about the name of that small metal. A soft small metal that is you're going to use when you're soldering a wire. Yeah, that soldering iron we're going to use to connect the wire using a soft solid wire. It's like that. To melt the wire, we're going to use soldering iron. What I mean the wire is that a wire that soft wire is like that. It's using for soldering wire thing. Soldering wire, we call that soldering wire thing. Switch. I don't know what this kind of pictures looks like. I don't know. Just garbage. For me, it was garbage before, but as you can see, switches can come in many forms such as push button, rocker, momentary, and others. Their basic function is to interrupt electric current by starting the circuit or most. Okay. So moving forward, resistors. I didn't have knowledge about these resistors. I hope that when the times goes by, I will have this resistor, because resistor was used as lower current to control the voltage inside. Okay, it was variable resistor. Yeah, this one I didn't see mostly all this materials or equipment. I didn't see this in person, just only on the this module only. But I didn't see it in person, but I think all of the electrical or electronic devices or tools that we have here has that materials used. So if I have time, I'm going to destroy I'm going to search for that materials, but only for those already damaged tools. Capacitors, I'd seen this one before, but I didn't know what's the use of this kind of things. But I really like to know more about this, because capacitor stores electricity and then discharges it back into the electricity. Diode or diode allows electricity to flow in a direction. I didn't know about this, and I want to know this more. Allows electricity to flow in direction. What I mean I didn't know is that I didn't know what actually it was used for, because it is very different when you study in a picture without performing it or without knowing or holding it. Actually, it works also. For me only. But when it's a lighting diode, I know that's something that it has a lot of function, but its primary function is for lighting. For me, I've seen that. I've used that before. It will blink. It depends on the function, or it depends on the function of that light emitting diode or LED. So before, I didn't know about the meaning of LED. One thing that I know about LED is that it's about light, a small light that is usually used in mostly like lighters or signage, that's called, or even in the Christmas seasons we use those sparkling or blinking LED lights for Christmas, just like that. So I didn't know that LED has a meaning, so I am really happy because I know that the meaning of LED is a light emitting diode. So it was quite amazing going forward. So transistors, still didn't know about that. Relay, before I didn't know about transistors. Until now, I still have a confuse of all of these tools, because it's really hard to familiarize in a short period of time. Yeah. But honestly, some of these are familiar, but not at all. Because when this pass, something that you stored in your mind, something started to pull by pull. So you're going to recall about the topic, so that it will still store it in your mind. Still not robot to store all the information without forgetting other parts, just like that. So relay. Yeah, it's really specific that electricity operated is that opens or closes when power is applied. Yeah. Okay. Integrated circuit, IC. Still didn't know this in person. Still didn't see this in person, but hoping to see this. Okay, so I think I am in the second lesson, which is the fundamental of electricity and magnetism. So one thing that popped up in my mind is there is magnetism. I think magnetism is one of its example is radio, something like radio network, just like that. Where mostly of all of us networks are using magnetism. I think if I am not wrong, something that has a part that's part of magnetism. This is like, so when I first read the DC circuit, I didn't notice, because I have here a generator that has a DC circuit and AC circuit. So for me, the use of DC circuit is not intended for higher voltage of electricity, but for medium one, for smaller amount of electricity to provide. Just like that for cell phones. You can use cell phones with DC circuits. I think that's not just like that. So going forward, okay, there's a lot of electricity. So that is one, I think, my reaction about the DC circuits, because I think all of this it's just further information about the DC circuits, its parts, its further information, just like that. But for me, my reaction about this DC circuit is something that's not even perform a high voltage. This is my reaction about this DC circuit is before I didn't read this topic. It was my first impression about the DC circuit. So just like something like that. So going forward to this next topic about the AC circuit. So this one AC circuit, in my In my house here, I have a generator which has a AC circuit. So one thing that popped up in my mind and about AC circuit is it can perform a higher voltage of electricity rather, so that you can perform a lot higher voltage devices or two devices, like that. Lights. Oh no, lights, not lights. It's like that. TV. Yeah, it's you're going to use direct electricity to TV. You're going to open a TV, and also, wait a moment. I have to check it. If this video is still recording, because okay, so this video is still recording. Check back. Oops, here. Okay. So this circuit is for me. It was useful. Higher voltage, just like electric fan or TV, and just like that. So today I'm not lying. I'm going to show you my generator. Here it was. So one thing that I had the one thing that my first impression that popped up in my mind when I read AC and DC circuit, because when you're going to perform for AC circuit, yeah, here is a AC circuit for use for higher voltage for me, because you can insert here it's used for outlets. You can insert higher voltage devices for performance energy. Moreover, it was used for high voltage electricity. So I guess it's my reaction from AC circuit. Here. But actually, AC circuit, I didn't know that AC circuit has its meaning. Its meaning is alternating current. Okay, alternating current is a current that is constantly changing in amplitude and temperature. Okay, I hope I had already read this one. I had been familiarized. So going forward to another topic, yeah, because that's what this a lot of this information is just interconnected to the AC circuit. Okay, so going forward to this another topic from the fundamentals lesson 2. Wait a minute. Okay, that's what are the semiconductors, boys? So when I first saw this question, I didn't have knowledge about semiconductors devices. Although I know what device means, I did not know what semiconductors. So here it was teach me that some devices using semiconductors, which are materials that have electrical characteristics somewhere between resistor and conductors. Still didn't know this kind of picture was presented. It's really almost real. Using this one. Quite really amazing this. And this introductory electronic components, active versus passive components. Okay. Active and passive components. So let me say electronic components. I have a stuff electronic equipment here. It was a board, just like a computer board, a small computer board stated for just like it was named Orange Pi, just like that. Orange Pi, Raspberry Pi, this name of a board, computer board. A Linux, something familiar with Linux, just like that. When I see this picture, yeah. I'm just filling down this video. Using this video, I'm just telling what I had, what was really my reaction. It's not scripted, never lied. Just telling the truth. said there that complete components requires a source of energy, typically in the form of direct current, in order to perform their specific function. Yeah, that's really happening. Passive components and their functions. As passive components can influence the flow of electricity running through them. For example, they can resist the flow, store energy for later use, or produce inductance. However, they cannot control amplify electricity themselves. Typically, applications of active and passive components. So we consider that we are surrounded by these tiny electronics elements in everyday life. They are hiding inside lights, some system computers, homes, cars. By defining active components are found in a single electronic device, so we have countless use cases. Classic examples include devices with computing power and integrated devices which is built-in battery or display and LED lights, emitting lights. So that's it all. So overall, my reaction to these two topics, which is the introductory and the fundamental of electricity and magnetism. One thing that I really like about these two topics is the first topic, because we will say first topic is really smooth and smooth to your heart, to your brain to learn and to store the information in your brain. So I'd really appreciate and I really want to learn more on this, and I really want to read this again to further understand and familiarize all of these not stupid things, but this amazing knowledge, because one day it can be used for because this is just for my own good that can be used in the future. So I think that is my reaction to these two topics, and I hope that you understand me, and I hope that I have a score for this video reactions. It was just a reaction. It was not a discussion. It was just me, my own reactions about these two topics. Okay, so that's it also. Thank you for watching.